Good morning, squad. Welcome back to MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, the number one spot for everything sports talk, sports news, sports debate in the morning. Hope y'all had a great, safe, fun, adventurous weekend. We got a good rundown this Monday. Of course, we got to go back and recap the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. Chiefs win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. What's going on with Patrick Mahomes and his ankle? Eagles dominate the New York Giants. Jalen Hurts look like he's fully healthy. Bengals dominate the Buffalo Bills. What's going on with Josh Allen? San Francisco 49ers survive against the Dallas Cowboys. What's going on with Dak Prescott? Then we're going to preview the conference round of the NFL playoffs of my San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philadelphia to play the Philadelphia Eagles next Sunday, this Sunday at 3 p.m. and the Cincinnati Bengals playing the Kansas City Chiefs at 6:30 p.m. this Sunday. And before I end off episode 94, of course, I got to speak on the Brooklyn Nets and their 2-game win streak over the weekend, since I ended off my Friday episode asking will the Brooklyn Nets win a game without Kevin Durant. Kyrie Irving averaging 43 points per game. Got to speak on that. Let's get right into it, gang. So, of course, we're going to start off going back to the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and we had some dominant wins out there. We're going to start off going back to the Chiefs' 27-20 win over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Patrick Mahomes injuring his ankle. To me, that was the biggest news from that game, was just Patrick Mahomes and his injury to his ankle. You saw the defense. They went out there. They dominated as we expected. Like I said, I think the Jacksonville Jaguars exerted too much emotions into the comeback on the Los Angeles Chargers in the wild card round. So I didn't expect them to come out there and have that same energy, and they weren't as energized, but they were still right there. If it wasn't for some turnovers and some mishaps, they were right there. And to me, I'm just looking at the Chiefs, and I'm very, very concerned about Patrick Mahomes and his ankle. He came back, and yes, they won the game. He scores a touchdown, but that offense was definitely not the same once Patrick Mahomes got that ankle hurt, and it's a high ankle sprain, so it's not going to get any better. He is in a boot today. He's probably on crutches today, so it's going to be a tough one for the Kansas City Chiefs. So that was my big storyline from the Kansas City Chiefs game, is what's going on with Patrick Mahomes and his ankle. We got to keep our eye out for that as the day goes on and the Kansas City Chiefs update us on his injury and all that. Let's move on, though, to the Eagles dominating the New York Giants on Saturday night, 38-7. Jalen Hurts looking healthy. They just went up and down the field on the New York Giants. New York Giants couldn't do nothing offensively. They couldn't move the ball. To me, it was just a dominant effort from the Philadelphia Eagles. What more can you say? Like, they just ran the ball whenever they wanted to. They passed the ball when they wanted to. They came out first play of the game, and Jalen Hurts' play action 40-yard pass to Devontae Smith. So you didn't really get to see a lot of A.J. Brown. That was the only thing from this game. But they won 38-7. So, I mean, it's not like they needed them this game. So I just saw a dominant team out there in the Philadelphia Eagles that is going to be tough for my San Francisco 49ers to come in there and beat. But we're up for the task. Let's move on, though. Let's touch on the Sunday games. We got the Bengals dominating the Buffalo Bills 27-10 in the snow. What did I take away from this game? To me, I just took away, where were the Buffalo Bills at? They said they were wanting the snow. They wanted the snow to come down because they felt as though they had the advantage. They got Josh Allen. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's got the big arm. He can run all over the place. You got Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. They can maneuver and run around in the snow. So to see them come out there, only put up 10 points, that is just disrespectful. They didn't even have a turnover until late in the game. That last interception that Josh Allen threw when the game was already 27-10 when he threw up a prayer and it was intercepted. So they just weren't moving the ball. So a lot of stuff that they were reflecting on, or Tony Romo was touching on, was a lot of national analysts saying, well, Josh Allen has to protect the ball. Well, he did protect the ball yesterday, and they still only put up 10 points. So I don't know what happened. To me, like I said, they couldn't get the run game going, couldn't get the ball. Singletary or James Cook couldn't get going. So you put too much pressure on Josh Allen. I had a feeling that's what was going to transpire in that game. So I didn't think they would get dominated, though. I would have thought they would have put up more than 10 points on the Buffalo Bills side. I think I had the Bengals winning like 27-20 or something like that. But yeah, that was just a dominant win from the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's move on to the nightcap. You had the rivalry renewed of the San Francisco 49ers against the Dallas Cowboys. You had my Niners surviving against the Dallas Cowboys in San Francisco, 19-12. What did I take away from this game? Just a a hard-fought dogfight. That was a dogfight. You feel what I'm saying? That was a defensive matchup. And then once Tony Pollard went down, they just couldn't move the ball. They didn't have that juice. They didn't have that explosion. I was telling my family, because I was watching the game with some Cowboys fans, and I'm just like, Tony Pollard is their juice. Tony Pollard is their shake and bake. You feel what I'm saying? So without Tony Pollard, they don't got that person that can actually extend the field or stretch the field horizontally and then cut it up. They were missing him sadly, and then Zeke is just a shell of himself. So you put it all on Dak Prescott, and I knew if that was going to happen, that Dak Prescott, he's not that type of guy that you put the whole game of the NFC Championship on his shoulders and expect him to lift the entire team up past a great team like my San Francisco 49ers. And we seen what happened. 2 turnovers, could have been more than that, and we got a clean game from Brock Purdy. That's the number one thing that we're seeing so far, as me, that I'm seeing in comparison to Jimmy Garoppolo and Brock Purdy, is that Brock Purdy is still not being sloppy as far as taking, like, he did that bad scramble, but he didn't take a terrible sack yesterday, didn't have a sack fumble, didn't have an interception. So that's the one thing that I'm noticing, is that he's taking care of the ball as well as trying to extend and make plays. So I really like what I'm seeing from Brock Purdy. Let's preview the conference championship. Let's start off with the first game coming up this Sunday. My San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles in my hometown of Philadelphia, 3 p.m. What am I expecting from this game? I'm expecting another dogfight. I'm expecting another defensive tough matchup, but I'm a little scared. You think about, they got A.J. Brown over there. A.J. Brown was cooking us for Tennessee last year, but our defense is a lot better. We got Travaris Ward out there on the outside. Our defense is a lot better this year. Then you think about just that read option. That read option always messes with our defense, because you got Nick Bosa out there. You don't want to really slow them dudes down and have them thinking what you have to do during the read option. You got to make quick decisions. So for me, I'm a little nervous, but I'm not going to predict the game. I'm going to save the prediction for my Friday episode, just like I did last week. So for me, I'm seeing a hard-fought game. Two of the best teams of the NFC, clearly the 2 best teams in the NFC. So then you got the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. What am I seeing in this game? You got the Cincinnati Bengals beating the Kansas City Chiefs 3 straight times in the calendar year. In 365 days, the last 365 days, the Cincinnati Bengals had beaten the Kansas City Chiefs 3 times, including once in Kansas City last year in the AFC Championship game. Then Patrick Mahomes, his ankle being out, is going to be a lot of build-up, but right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are leaning towards Cincinnati right now. We got to see how Patrick Mahomes develops and his injury rate, but it's not looking good right now. To me, if Pat Mahomes was healthy, it'd be a little different story, especially with the 3-game win streak, but hey, Bengals looking prime right now. Bengals looking prime. Let's move off of the NFL right now. Let's touch on the NBA before we end off episode 94. Let's touch on the Brooklyn Nets. I came on my Friday episode. I'm like, are the Brooklyn Nets going to win a game without Kevin Durant? They went 0-4, and it's looking like nobody's stepping up. And what's going on with Kyrie? He had one good game, and Kyrie Irving just been going berserk over the weekend, averaging 43 points per game, 7.5 assists per game, leading the Brooklyn Nets on a 2-game winning streak over the Utah Jazz and the Golden State Warriors. I didn't think they were going to beat the Utah Jazz. He came out and had 48 points on the Utah Jazz, then led the Brooklyn Nets to a comeback win over the Golden State Warriors last night. The Golden State Warriors were up, I believe, 17 points at one point in that game, came back, snapped out, leading the league in fourth quarter points per game this year. So tip my cap to Kyrie Irving. And did you see my show, bro? Did you see my show? And you was like, oh man, this dude Mizzy out here coming at me again. I'm about to shut him up. And so I love that, man. I love the competitive nature of somebody seeing or hearing negative backlash and really proving them wrong by performing well. So tip my cap to Kyrie Irving. Next huge game for the Brooklyn Nets is against the Philadelphia 76ers upcoming this Wednesday. Who has the edge in that matchup leading into that game? The Brooklyn Nets are on a 2-game winning streak, but the Philadelphia 76ers on a 5-game win streak. Joel Embiid is looking like he's rounding into form. And like I said, you had Kyrie Irving go for 48, but you had Tyrese Maxey go for 38 the other night. So you got Tyrese Maxey, you got Joel Embiid, then you got James Harden that's rounding back into James Harden's form. Tobias Harris, they just look like they're stacked right now and they're rounding into that healthy form. So I'm going to lean towards the Philadelphia 76ers having the edge right now, especially without no Kevin Durant. But I wouldn't be surprised if Kyrie came out there like he did last year with the Brooklyn Nets, but they don't have no Kevin Durant this year. But if he came out there like he did last year and puts up huge numbers and leads the Brooklyn Nets to a win. Let me know what y'all think, though. This is episode 94 of MadMizzy Sports Morning Show, divisional round recap. You had the Chiefs win over the Jacksonville Jaguars, 27-20. Patrick Mahomes hurts his ankle. Eagles dominate the New York Giants, 38-7. Jalen Hurts looking healthy. Bengals dominating the Buffalo Bills, 27-10 in the snow. What's going on with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills? San Francisco 49ers survive against the Dallas Cowboys, 19-12 in San Francisco. What's going on with Dak Prescott, the Dallas Cowboys, and Mike McCarthy? Then we're going to preview the conference round of my San Francisco 49ers at the Philadelphia Eagles and the Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. And then to end it off, we're going to speak on the Brooklyn Nets 2-game win streak over the weekend. Kyrie Irving averaging 43 points per game, 7.5 assists per game in that win streak, and who has the edge in their huge matchup this Wednesday against the Philadelphia 76ers. MadMizzy Sports Morning Show. Like, comment, share, subscribe, listen, alert. MizzyWorld Entertainment. Gang.